What's up, everybody? So this is Project Dirty Duallamax. So I got the bed off. It's probably been about 5 or so years since I completed this truck. So I'm trying to go from a 1-ton leaf spring setup to a 4-link with an airbag. So I ended up doing a Crown Vic front suspension to get it to ride a little bit better, and in doing that lowered the front quite a bit, and I cannot get the back down, to a ride height which I like. So I've been taking some leaves out of it, and it just keeps riding worse and worse the more leaves I take out of it. So I'm going to do a little C-notch to the frame, do a parallel 4-link with a panhard bar, and do some 9-inch 3,000-pound airbags. So I'll let you guys know how it goes. Alright, well, here we are. I've been working all day on this thing. So I basically got the leaves taken off of it, got the front leaf mounts off, kind of got the axle cleaned up, ready for the 4-link. So what I did is I took some little 2-inch square steel tubing and welded that to the axle and welded it to the frame, and then tack welded the jack stand to the axle as well. So I got my pinion angle matching my transmission kind of where I want it. So got everything cleaned up, ready to go. Ordered a HD 4-link kit from RideTech, so that should be here in a couple days. So axle sitting in there where I want it, nice and straight, square from side to side. So alright, so here I've got my HD 4-link kit from RideTech. Comes with 2 of the 3,500-pound bags. We got our frame mount over there. We got some shock mounts. We've got our axle mounts, and then our 2 bag mounts. And then basically it'll come with 4 1.5-inch 190 wall DOM tubing for the 4-link bars. Then they give you some bungs that you slide in the end and weld in. So I've already got those bungs kind of pressed in. They give you all the bushings, and then for the bridge bars, you got 2-inch 250 wall DOM tubing. So a pretty decent kit, comes with everything you need. So over here on the truck, I've got the truck sitting at ride height. I've got my driver's side 4-link bars kind of just sitting there. Haven't really welded them yet. Kind of getting everything, measuring 5-6 times, making sure everything's right. So basically what I'm doing is I'm setting the lower bars at about 1 degree up towards the front of the truck. That's from ground, not from the rake of the truck. The truck overall will have about a 2.5 degree rake. And so these bars are parallel, so technically it's not really going to give you a instant center. But it does have a little bit of adjustment in there, so I figure I'm going to try it like this, see how it rides, and then if I need to, I can move that top link down a little bit, so that there will be an intersection point between the 2 links. So I'll get everything tacked up and go from there. Alright, so here's the progress I've made. I got the 4-link pretty much all burned in. All the bars are in. My C-notches are done. Basically, because I'm going to probably be towing a little bit with this, I went with some 2.5 by 3.5 steel tube, and kind of made a like a channel, I guess. Should be about 10 or 15% stronger than the stock frame. So that gives me about a couple more inches of travel on the axle. Had to move the bags back just a little bit. I had some interference issues here with this panhard bar I put in. I couldn't really go on top of the axle like typically you see, because with the clearance issues of the bed floor, I think it probably would have hit. But the HD 4-link kit installed pretty well from RideTech. Pretty impressed with everything. Everything cycles through fairly well. So that's where I'm at. I'm converting to 4-wheel disc brakes, so that's kind of what I'm working on now. So once I get the 4-wheel disc brake on, I'll remount my fuel tank back here, and I should be good to go. Alright, so I got this thing outside, getting ready to kind of paint everything up. Got my disc brake kit on. Got this kit from Lugnut 4x4. His name's Sean. Pretty much came with everything I needed. I had to go get some brake hoses and stuff like that, but uses a dually rotor from a 2005 Chevy Express, and then just kind of uses a basic GM caliper and a weld-on bracket, so not too bad. So anyways, we'll paint her up and see what she looks like. Alright, well here's what I ended up doing for the front. I ended up getting the RideTech shockwaves for the Crown Vic setup. It's pretty nice. This is the first piece I've actually been able just to kind of bolt in. So that was cool. Single adjustable, so you can adjust the rebound, stuff like that. Seems to ride pretty nice. They recommend about 100 PSI for, normal ride height. On this heavy beast, I got to run about 128, 130, somewhere around there. So it rides a little stiffer than it probably should, but it's kind of my only option if I wanted to airbag the front. So anyways, nice little setup. I'm pretty happy with it. So if you can see right here, I had to add a little link to drop down the sway bar. You can kind of see right there. So the sway bar right now, the wheel is in full droop, but when it's compressed, the sway bar bolt kind of wants to hit the billow. So I had to build a little link to extend the sway bar to get as close to the A-arm as I could. So that seems to be, I've kind of looked online, that seems to be a common issue with some people that have used this shockwave setup for the Crown Vic. So anyways, that's what I got going for the front. Got all my air lines run. Just have to hook up my tank, and should be on our way. Alright, so I got everything kind of back together and decided to kind of tear it back apart. Those first shockwaves just seemed a little too small. You can kind of see the ones on the right. These are the 6.5-inch billow compared against these are 8-inch billows. I think the lifting capacity is roughly about 800 pounds more on this one than this one. Same shock, same shockwave itself, just the billow itself is a little bit different. So with this heavy of a truck, should allow me to, with the smaller one I was about 130 PSI to get it to lift where I wanted it. With this one, hopefully I'll be around 100, so it should ride a little bit better too. So it's quite a bit bigger. I had to modify the lower A-arm a little bit to get that aluminum billet piece to fit. But I think I got it, so I might have to eliminate my sway bar, but that's not the end of the world. So anyways, this is the route I'm going. We'll see how it goes. Alright guys, well here's Project Dirty Duallamax. Got it all done, so I figure I'd take a little video of it cycling through its different settings. Here's kind of what the app looks like through RideTech. Kind of shows what's in each bag. So right now the ride height it's sitting all the way up as far as it'll go. Pretty much at the top of its suspension travel. I don't think you'd ever have it this high, but I guess it's good for oil changes or whatnot. So here's ride height. Goes down just a little bit. So that pretty much clears everything, doesn't rub in the front, rides real nice. If I had to tow a little bit or something, I could always put a little bit more pressure in the back bags. And then we'll go all the way down. so it gets down there pretty low. I don't really have any clearance problems in the front. Had to move some of the intercooler tubing just a little bit. The back was pretty tight. I had to actually take the outer wheel off and machine about 1/4 of an inch off the back of the wheel to get the wheel to go in a little further. And then on the inside wheel I had a little bit of rubbing, so then I had to do about an 1/8 inch spacer on the inside wheel to pull the wheels back out just a little bit. But overall I think it turned out pretty good.